We are set for a big Super Sunday come the end of October with the two teams competing for the title meeting each other in a game televised by Sky Sports, and it does not feature Rangers. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And the news today was made. The Hearts game with Celtic at Tynecastle in October has been moved from the Saturday to the Sunday. This was partly down to Celtic playing in Europe, but maybe also down to the fact that Hearts are right up the top and look like they're going to compete with the title, because it's been moved from a non-televised game on the Saturday to a televised game on the Sunday. Now, I believe originally the game was televised. The game was scheduled for 3 o'clock on Saturday, and you can't have a 3 o'clock Saturday game be on TV due to the blackout. But rather than simply just moving it to the Sunday, they've also now made the game televised. So it's going to be Hearts versus Celtic at Tynecastle, 12 o'clock kickoff on Sunday the 28th of October. And I'm looking forward to it. Could be a great weekend of football. Now, of course, Hearts Celtic isn't the only game taking place on the Sunday. We've also got Aberdeen taking on Hibernian and Rangers taking on Kilmarnock. Now, with Celtic, Aberdeen and Rangers representing Scotland in the Europa League, we're probably going, and Conference League for Aberdeen, we're probably going to see the majority of their games fall on a Sunday. Now, I think there might be a couple of Europa League games that happen on Wednesday midweek, and therefore, if that's the case, we might see one of those three. I think it'll be Europa League games and not just Conference League games, but for the most part, I would expect those three to be playing on Sunday whenever there is a European game midweek. But yeah, so Sunday the 26th of October, the three games that are going to be on TV, or the three games that are going to be played on a Sunday, are Hearts Celtic, Aberdeen Hibs, and Rangers Kilmarnock. Two of those games are going to be part of the Super Sunday Scottish Premiership, and it's going to be Hearts Celtic and Aberdeen Hibs. So Rangers Kilmarnock will not be televised. That is the 3 p.m. kickoff. You've got Aberdeen and Hibernian on at 2:30, and then midday you've got at noon Hearts versus Celtic at 12 o'clock. So interesting there to see Rangers missing out. But the game, I think, with Hearts and Celtic, is definitely the right one to televise, especially right now when both teams are joint top of the table on the same amount of points, 13 out of a possible 15, both sitting 9 points ahead of Rangers. And you've got Derek McInnes coming out saying that his squad needs to keep improving. You've got Tony Bloom coming out saying that Hearts can challenge for the league. So I think it could be a great game. And I'm hoping it will be a great game. And it's definitely one that we need to be televised. I think it would be a big failure if you had Hearts versus Celtic, the top two in the table, and it wasn't televised. So yeah, we need to see Scottish football make correct decisions. And for me, this is definitely the correct decision. However, will the teams be level when this game comes around? That's the big question. Right now, they are, but there's still, I believe, 3 games to play between now and this Celtic game, and a lot can change in 3 games. I mean, the gap between these two and Rangers right now is 9 points, but if the unthinkable happened and one of these two teams lost their next 3 and the other one won their next 3, then the gap could be 9 points, and all of a sudden you'd be thinking, well, there's no point really televising this, is there? So we're going to have a quick look here at the fixture list and just see what it looks like for Hearts and Celtic ahead of this big clash at the end of October. So with September, there's only 1 game left for each team to play. Now, we've got a bunch of teams that have to play their game in hands. Dundee, Livingston, Dundee United, Aberdeen, Falkirk and Hibernian, they will all play this week with the League Cup, so that's how they're going to get caught up. But on Saturday, the 27th of September, we have got Celtic taking on Hibernian and Hearts taking on Falkirk, and those games are both on Saturday and they're both 3 p.m. kickoffs. Now, I think that there's a good chance Hearts could go top of the table come Saturday night. I'm expecting Hearts to beat Falkirk comfortably, and I think Hearts could beat Falkirk by such a scoreline that even if Celtic do beat Hibernian, Hearts could still overtake them in the league. It's no guarantee that Celtic beat Hibs. Hibs have been good this season. Yeah, they've got more draws than they would like, but you know, Hibs are a top team. They're one of the best teams in Scotland. There's no doubt about that. and I think they could give Celtic a game. So I expect Hearts to at least be level with Celtic after this game, but possibly be in front. Possibly Hearts could go into October leading the title. And then we move into October. Sunday, the 5th of October, we've got Celtic taking on Motherwell. But on the Saturday before that, we've got Hearts taking on Hibernian in the first Edinburgh derby of the season. So that's going to be massive. It's going to be difficult. It's at Tynecastle. Hearts will be hoping they can win that, of course, but it's not going to be an easy game by any means, and Hearts are going to have their work cut out for them to get 3 points off Hibernian. So, look, both Celtic and Hearts have got to play Hibs in their next 2 league games. So, Hibs could be a big deciding factor in who actually is leading the Premiership by the time the Hearts-Celtic game comes around. Celtic taking on Motherwell won't be a gimme by any means. Motherwell have been good this season, playing some good football, but they might just come up short at Celtic Park against Celtic. We'll have to wait and see. Then if you move into Saturday, the 18th of October, Hearts are away to Kilmarnock at Rugby Park. Difficult place to go. No guarantee that Hearts win that one. And then on the Sunday, we've got Celtic taking on Dundee at Dens Park. I expect Celtic to win that. No disrespect to Stephen Presley, but he's just not very good, is he? And Dundee so far still without a win. And then that takes us to the Sunday 26th, where it's Hearts versus Celtic. So 3 games to go until this big top of the table televised clash, and it really could be looking a lot different by the time we get to Sunday 26th of October. I hope that it's not. I mean, I hope that both teams are still within. It would be good if, well, I mean, who am I kidding? I'd much prefer Hearts to be 9 points in front, but at least if there's 3 points, it would be good, I think, for the league and for the neutrals, that if Hearts go into this game and they are the bare minimum 3 points behind Celtic, if they can be a minimum of 3 points behind Celtic, and then you're going into this game knowing that if you do get a win, then you can potentially go ahead in the league and get into the top spot, then I think that would be good for Scottish football. What I think would be really bad would be, and I'm not just saying this because I support Hearts, but I think that if Hearts go into this game and they find themselves maybe like 6 points behind Celtic, then you lose it and the gap's 9, and before you know it, the league's over. By the end of October, the Scottish Premiership could be over. I mean, some people would argue it's already over and we're not even into October yet, but we're only halfway through September. But I've got to give my team the benefit of the doubt. I hope they keep it close. Aberdeen did last season for, a decent period, for like at least the first quarter of the season. Maybe a bit longer than that. Aberdeen, to be fair to them, they were doing really, really well, but then they fell apart. I don't think Hearts will fall apart. We might drop off, but I don't think that we will go on the sort of run that Aberdeen went on last season. That was a disaster for them. So, honestly, I still think Hearts will finish second. I'm predicting it. I think Hearts will finish second. Could they finish closer to Celtic than they finished to Rangers? Maybe that's a possibility. It depends how long Rangers keep Russell Martin, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm glad this game's televised. It's going to be a big match, and it should be. Hearts, Celtic, always good at Tynecastle. And I'm glad we're getting to watch it. And of course, Hibernian, Aberdeen at Pittodrie as well. Could be a good game. So yeah, should be a very good Super Sunday, and definitely one worth watching. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then though, peace.